Don in London, hello, November 18th. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour, or being in recovery one day at a time. I'm in a one-day programme, if you like, and 35-year drinker, 35 years of wondering who I was, not really understanding life very well, or rather understanding half of life, a half-life. It's okay to be happy, it's okay to be joyful, but is it okay to be unhappy or not happy? I think I learned, and this is me thinking, I think I learned how to make life work and be what I thought I ought to be, rather than follow maybe some of my interests. So sometimes we get good at things which are useless to us inside. They don't make us feel better. And that was me with my career, and to mediate my career and also relationships and other stuff, I used to drink a lot because that's what I learned. I learned how to drink. So these days I'm learning on a daily basis what it's like not to drink, and the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, has been part of my story of recovery, simply to live in the day and meet life as it is, not trying to make it my way. So what is this transformation about? Well, from being an alcoholic to an alcoholic in recovery. Simply that. And here on these videos I share a bit about how AA helped me and helps me daily keep my feet on the ground when my head's in the clouds, when I'm daydreaming away. So what is AA? Well, I cannot speak for AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. It's full of unique, authentic people who speak where they will and by choice in their venue. And being unique and authentic, they don't need promoting in any shape or form. So in fellowship what we see is what we get. Good days, bad days, shared experiences of life. So life on life's terms is not all a bed of roses. It's life as it is, and it can be very, very tough or just generally hard work. Life is difficult, as N. Scott Peck said. But a sober head makes it much more easy, in my case, to cope with reality. So AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm going to share the AA preamble off this little card, which really indicates what the fellowship does and is what you see is what you get. We don't promote, we can make you a sober person. We only become a sober person because we want to or need to. So AA, what is it? Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, but we all have our own personal beliefs, and that's all right. We try not to bring them into the room to try and sell them to anybody. That's promoting recovery in a certain way. We share recovery as it is. Neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So my daily video, bit about me, bit about AA and what it can do and what it can't do. It can't make you sober. We have to do the hard work. And there are no fixes in life, not when it comes to our feelings, because the whole program is to balance our emotional and spiritual well-being on a daily basis, using the 12 steps, which are suggestions to help a person be open, honest and willing to change on a daily basis, and the 12 traditions, which are also suggestions about how the fellowship sticks together under unity, service and recovery. So although we are fully functional people when we're sober, we retain our beliefs and understandings about life. It's not an AA way of life. We go back to living a life we prefer without alcohol. Simple as that. And it's complicated because we got caught in a malady which we couldn't get out of on our own, and that was my experience. But there are other ways than AA, and I'm sure if you've found one, it's working for you. Anyway, I'm sharing about what works for me, and on here I read out the daily reflections from this book. 12 steps and 12 traditions, so it covers one step and one tradition a month, January to December. So November and the 18th today. November is all about prayer meditation, or a formal way of clearing our minds so we can make some decisions and choices which are open to us. Not wishfulness, not trying to make it our way, but to deal with life as it is. So for November 18th it says here, a safety net. Occasionally we are seized with a rebellion so sickening that we simply won't pray. When these things happen, we should not think too ill of ourselves. We should simply resume prayer as soon as we can, doing what we know to be good for us. And that comes from the 12 steps and 12 traditions. And when we're seized with anger, resentments and stuff like that, our minds start to race into what is right for us rather than what is right generally. And you know, what I've learned is we pray and meditate all the time in an informal way. It's called this inner voice chattering to us, which is it's either self-will run riot, or it's understanding how we fit in the world. So self-will run riot can send me back into anger and resentment. And it then goes on to say, sometimes I scream, stomp my feet and turn my back on my higher power. Then my disease tells me that I'm a failure, and that if I stay angry I'll surely get drunk. In those moments of self-will, it's as if I've slipped over a cliff and I'm hanging by one hand. The above passage is my safety net, in that it urges me to try some new behaviour, new attitude, new behaviour, such as being kind and patient with myself, forgive myself for getting angry, because we all get angry, and resentful. It assures me that my higher power will wait until I am willing once again to risk letting go, to land in the net, and to pray. And for me, as somebody who can be an agnostic, an atheist, or a God believer, depending on my life experiences, sometimes I think there is a God, and then sometimes I think there isn't. But what is there is a conscience which can operate to good conscience, and that's my channel. So when I cut my good conscience off, I'm in trouble. If God works through people, as many people say, wisdom, truth, love and wisdom comes from others. So I don't have a problem with prayer, meditation and sharing my story if it's angry and resentful. It gets me away from shame and guilt. And shame and guilt will get me back into the trap of isolating and thinking the world is against me, when in fact nothing is against me except me and my inability to fit with what is happening. So these days I prefer to fit with what is happening and let life happen and be a part of it and be free to make choices which are open to me in reality. Freedom of choice in reality doesn't mean I'm going to get my own way. It means I understand what is possible and what is not possible. And the serenity prayer to God or good conscience helps me daily, anytime, about can and cannot do. So to God or good conscience, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is for me just for today.